In addition to violence, at 0.44 seconds, we see a character, which is X, being kidnapped and held in a side angle to ensure the audience can see what's happening. A plastic bag further adds to the reality of the scene, as the kidnappers want to maintain a hidden identity and use a plastic bag for X to not recognise their faces. Then, the shot tracks X, moving in closer on the scene to deepen the emotional movement that the audience feel for the character and mother of the child. Other movies like Shank use a gang to surround the victim, showing a sense of authority, therefore appealing to the convention to illustrate how authority is inflicted through masculinity in working class societies. Over-the-shoulder shots are effective in showing the audience who is in the conversation, as throughout this scene in the actual movie will most likely be doing shot reverse shots. This is similar to a tracking shot, following the character that is unseen. It is also done effectively in Shank, showing a group of black males with balaclavas standing as a unit tracking the group individually. The group in Death Penalty and Shank connote that these characters could be the negative influence. However, in my movie it is countered by some of the individuals wearing bibs, which are related to football practicing, and therefore the audience could infer that these are Ace's teammates rather than negative influences. By doing this, I have developed the convention by creating more of an enigma for the audience to instigate various imaginations of the characters. The character at 0.40 seconds is loading a clip. Therefore, this means he has possession of a lethal weapon that could be inflicted upon society, and shots like these are what intensify the situation, as the audience are unaware but can only make predictions on what he plans to do next with that weapon. In Before I Self-Destruct, rather than showing a character loading a clip, instead it shows a black male unravelling a gum from a piece of cloth. The cloth is used to protect and convince others that it is another object rather than a lethal weapon. The type of shot I used is a medium shot. Not capturing his face creates an enigma, therefore developing the convention, as many other movies like Kidulthood also display the character's face. As violence is conventional, it is used many times throughout the movie and trailer. Other features like lethal weapons further hint factors of violence. All social realism movies like Shank or 4321 include more than 3 shots that present violence. The reason for this is that the trailer is meant to be a snippet of the movie, and therefore must include the most action-pumping scenes to thrill and shock the audience, to lure them in deeper. Darkness is effective in showing how most crimes do occur at night, and even with increased CCTV, criminals can still commit and escape crimes via hoodies or the dark. The character in the middle is being followed and eventually ambushed by 3 others, with one obtaining a baseball bat, resting on his shoulder ready for action if necessary. Semantic aspects are essential as they set the tone of the particular genre, therefore using the convention. Many movies, including those outside the social realism genre, involve time lapses. Time lapses allow to represent a passage of time to show the audience the differences of characters before in comparison to the present. For example, Kidulthood and Adulthood is purely based on the process of adolescence to becoming an adult. Other movies, like Ill Manners at 0.17 seconds, shows a time-lapse of a sector in London, and it shows the separation of the working class in relation to a higher middle class. The division is represented via lighting, with the middle class having well-lit environments and the government undermines the working class. It is not conventional to place captions on the time-lapse, therefore I had challenged this in order to enhance the audience's understanding of the narrative. Both Ill Manners and Bullet Boy both have used captions on either a time-lapse or scene, and I believe this was helpful in displacing 2 factors of the captions, deepening the narrative and the setting to represent the area for the audience to acknowledge what occurs in the society, alongside violence to further intensify situations and diverse myself from other movies. I have used gun shells and a bat and knife crossed over with blood running across both the bat and the knife. Therefore, this is enigmatic as the audience are unaware to who the blood or the objects belong to. Other effective features are at 1.13 seconds. The camera is handheld and zooms in to add excitement and curiosity for the audience. Robberies are heavily conventional in social realism movies. as recently, over the years of the 90s, blacks have been labelled as muggers, bringing fear to other individuals to be wary of black characters and therefore are institutional racism. However, rather than street robberies, I wanted to develop the convention by filming a robbery in a store, with the effect of the footage being taken from CCTV. Factors like the time in the bottom right corner illustrate that it is CCTV footage, adding a sense of reality. Also, the effects of the saturated colours, mainly being black and white, further entice this scenario of a robbery. In Kidulthood, rather than robbing the store, the character instead takes items from the store and launches them at the shopkeeper, illustrating violence and robberies. Therefore, I used a gun to express this view, also showing the audience that these situations do occur due to the availability of guns or other lethal weapons and must be prevented to improve society or reduce crime. Creating an enigma is essential within social realism movies. Enigmatic atmosphere towards a movie as it lures the audience further in by arousing them, with leaving shots at cliffhangers for the audience to fill in the gaps, like at 1.25. A gun is thrown in the bushes and the camera captures only a male or female's lower part of the body for the audience to imagine who the character is and why this is happening. For example, on 4321 at 1.44 seconds, there is a gun scene of two characters both holding guns at one another. This is an enigma, as the audiences are unaware of what will happen next and therefore will have to watch the rest of the movie to see what happens, and this can create instant sales for the brand. Therefore, I have used the convention in order to enhance the audience's excitement. Tattoos are not realistically conventional, but are important in social realism movies. Tattoos in working class societies are common as legal restrictions may apply, but in working class societies, illegal activity is much easier and widespread, and therefore is a cause for why many working class individuals have tattoos. I wanted to illustrate this issue to educate and make society and the government aware of what actually occurs and what are undermined crimes. On Ill Manners, a young adult has a tattoo, but we are unaware of the actual age he gained his art, and therefore could cause the audience to perceive that he may have had it before he was 18. Therefore, I have developed this convention by focusing the importance on tattoos to address the social issue. The final shot was an axial shot, cutting closer to the object. The reason for this is that by cutting closer to the object, it allows to reinforce the excitement and gives a dramatic ending. Placing the billing block before a title is not conventional. There is not guidance to the organisational structure. However, over the last shots I have ended the trailer by narrating, "I call this," and the title appears. The effect of this is that the audience has the opportunity to piece this together, but also by ending it in this way, it allows the audience to further entice to watch the movie. Within this genre, social realism uses fast-paced music like dubstep, e.g. Kidulthood uses rapping at the beginning alongside a quick beat. The effect of this is that the music instantly is quick-paced and therefore captures the audience instantly and gives attention to the movie. Therefore, with rapping being originated from a working class environment, reflects the setting and typical location where the characters in the movie are situated. Therefore, I have used the convention but slightly developed it by using hip-hop, but allowing the background of hip-hop to further promote the working class aspect and struggles in ACES society, giving the audience a sense of sorrow. Throughout the trailer, as I have the narrator talking throughout the trailer, it can clash with the music. Therefore, to ensure a balance of sound, I lowered the decibels on the music whilst the narrator talks, and when reaching tense scenes I raise the volume to further emphasise the tension. Therefore, I have developed the convention as instead of using speech from the scenes, I use the narrator, Ace, describing his life and how it turned upside down.